idiot, white rock. I'm a work of art, man. I'll crush the ice game. I was not alike, man. We do all the dice game. Said it like a white man, party like a rock bang. The so ice the bike game, making lanes talk change. Goddamn, push your man. Get that shit a game. Deep in the herb so that you can have a change. My body roll on like a exit, but don't need no music. I ain't also like the entertainment. You can write it on me, man. On the center of the stage with no tank top.
Bruh. All right, let's do it. Welcome. You already know it's your boy Professor Pippage back in this bitch, trying to get active again, coming to you live from I Trade Asian. Let's do it. The market has been generous this week. This week, we've been striking. The market could have been generous other weeks too, but this week I like it the best because we've been striking. Did not do a weekend analysis. Had a lot of things going on outside of the charts, and I didn't get to them. So weekend analysis did not get done, but I did get the charts marked up. If you follow me on Telegram, weekend analysis did get marked up as far as busting down the charts and letting everybody know what I was expecting. From AU, we got the weekly open. We was looking for exotic pullback, which is what we got, and then looking for the short and create new lows. On Bitcoin, we're looking for the retrace back into untested supply. Right now, don't know how that's going to hold up. Over on GJ is consolidating. GJ been consolidating. What we can see is when we zoom in, we'll see we had a big wick left to the top side. Price action is consolidating bullishly, and then we saw that wick get filled. So potentially, if we don't break the low from where we just filled the wick, we potentially can come up and retest all these highs, break through, grab liquidity, and retest untested supply right back in up in here. On what is this? GU real funky. GU did break below the continuation zone. I did miss these sales at 17,560. I missed the sales targeting 14,209, but when we get to that chart, you will see price action has broke below this 4-hour support, has retested that lower low from the daily time frame, and it is now continuing to the downside. NU, I can't remember what NU look like currently, but we will get there. UJ, I do have a couple short positions open on UJ. One of them is currently getting smacked. The other one has not been activated. But yeah, I got stops at 139, 100. So if we reach up to that high, then I'm out. I will. I don't know if I sent those to the group chat or not. Anyways, gold is continuing to sell below 1727, which is what we were looking for. Price action to dip below this 4-hour support from the market open. Give it a little bit of pullback. Possible sales is breakout short, so potentially I definitely missed the shorts, but potentially could be expecting price action to retest. I think we are close to this imbalance or this I call it imbalance down here on the 4-hour time frame, but we'll check that out once we get over to it. Just trying to go through these charts to kind of show what the weekend analysis thought process was. Looking over at S&P, looking at the overall trend from the higher time frames, is currently bullish. Currently in a retracement phase. We have recently just broke structure within the last 2 weeks of the bearish trend that was to the downside. Previous lower high that created a new low, and now we've got the new higher high. So this is the low that created the high. So now we're looking for a retracement to see if we can continue potentially go back bullish. And then that was a AU long. And last night, this is how we started off on AU. This is how we started off on AU. Couldn't go live. Computer was acting kind of shaky. I had an entry somewhere from right over here. Price action came back and stopped me out, and I was all the way frustrated. You will see that here shortly as we continue to go forward. Here's the entry right here, based off of price action coming down. Big bearish. We know after a big impulsive move to the downside to the upside, price action must retrace before continuing bearish. It doesn't must have to, but at some point there's going to be a retracement, and we actually caught that retracement. And we saw price action start at 50%. We saw price action create a low during the New York session, breaking structure looking left. And as we came back to the Asian session, we saw this little lower high on the lower time frames. Thinking that price action potentially could break this low and come back to retest this 4-hour support before pushing back bullish. And this is when the price is taking off for me a little bit. And then price turned around, came back and got me on the stops. Salty. Not immediate, but exact. Where I had my stop loss at, exactly where it came to, grabbing some liquidity from over here, and then it started to drip. By this time, I had already re-entered this trade because I saw how price action was closing. I went down to the 5 minute, 1 minute, and started looking at price action down there. But yeah, overall, I was all the way salty because yeah, definitely had a good entry. Somewhat could have had a better entry up top if I waited a little bit longer, but overall, definitely a good entry within the market. Looking, expecting it to go short, and as you can see, this is a second entry position where I got in. Same stops, same targets. TP1 was right here, stop to break even. TP2 down to 4-hour support. The price action came from, and as you can see, price action started to drip. And once it hit TP1, I took off profits, trailed the stops, and as you can see, well, that's a little bit too much, but took off profit, trailed the stops, and you can see price action return. It did not make it to final TPs, but overall, from the weekend analysis, I was looking for price action to pull back to the structure most weekly broken from the weekly open right over here. We came down, we broke structure looking left, created a new low. I did take shorts from right over here because I said, okay, well, if we're going to continue to go bearish, price action, there's a lot of liquidity over here. Even when you look even further left, there are even more zones and levels right over here at the same point. So if we were going to continue to just shoot bears, we were just going to leak. And I had the next support level right over here around that 6,800 level, but we didn't do that. We came down and it was real choppy getting through this level. Normally, when you see price action, you see liquidity looking low, you see price action sweep through levels and just massively just take off. That didn't happen. So when I saw price action not actually just taking off and just right here just taking off and just pushing through this level, I was like, we gonna pip and dip this thing because if it's not just flushing, then potentially we going back for that retracement, which I was already expecting from the weekend analysis. So took the shorts there, came back during the New York session, and I saw from what we created during the Asian session, we did not break that low from the London session. Had we broke that low, I probably wouldn't have been expecting the longs to come back to where we came from within supply, but it did. It did not break the low, and it continued to go higher. So when you bump down to the 15-minute, I saw price action during the Asian session making lower lows and lower highs on the 15. But when we came down to the London, we didn't break the low, and then we shifted and started making higher highs and higher lows. So when I just peeped at the chart during the New York session, I saw this price action right here. I saw we didn't break the low. I took the long. I was targeting, original targets was like way back up here. But it was two things. We didn't break structure cleanly like I wanted to see looking left. And when price action opened, it created this gap. Now, usually when you see gaps in the market, price action comes back immediately to fill that. But there are some times like this right here where price action doesn't fill those gaps immediately. This little price action right here. I'm going to zoom in so everybody can see. Everybody. This right here, this little empty space in between the markets, little gap fill. And it got filled right over here. So that was my second confluence to take these buys. Pretty much no drawdown from the time I entered to the time it hit TP. From where the time I closed the trade, I didn't let it ride all the way to active. I didn't let it ride all the way to the top where I had TPs actively at. I just closed off right here because, like I said, I wanted to see this gap filled. The gap got filled, and then I started seeing wicks produce. So I was like, yeah, I'm up out of that thing. And then last night from the Asian session, like I said, trade got stopped out as it started to come back down on the 5 minute, my indicators, things that I was looking at. I saw my stops get hit. I saw this candle close with the wick to the top. I saw the next candle close weak bullish. As it started to come down and started breaking lows, I had a first support level right in over here on the 5 minute. And when I saw that candle pushing and breaking the low of the previous candle, I hopped in. I had stops right above here, and as you can see, it came down. Smashed up through TP1, was at this NY low. And then, yeah, from there, I trailed the stops. I had the stops originally above this candle right here, this bullish candle. And then once I saw it drop again and then started doing this little choppy price action right here, I brought the stops above this bullish candle because I said if we break this bullish candle's high, then I know for sure we're coming back here. So I wasn't willing to give that pippage back from this point to that point. It's not a lot, but overall, grand scheme of things, I wasn't willing to give it up. So I trailed the stops to right above this bullish candle. As you can see, got trailed out right there. And then from my expectations, price did continue bullish. So I was definitely happy. I got out of the second trade, got clapped on the first trade. And then this morning, news popped off and we came back into the selling zone that I had outlined from the weekend analysis. Let me see. Right back up in here to the structure most recently broken. And price action just melted. This right here is a paper trade. I did not catch this trade right here, but this was the idea I had from last night of where I wanted to get in and things that we talked about from the weekend analysis and so on and so forth. Targeting that same structure from previously that I identified, that I said if price action leaked through here, this was the next support. So that's why I was targeting had I got into this trade. I did actually manage to get some of this trade. I didn't catch all of it. So when I came to the chart, all this price action hadn't happened. It was somewhere around the New York session. And once price action broke the low, I believe right here, I hopped in. I believe it was a little higher than that because I think I got it from up here, and I only targeted back to the structure we most recently broke, which was the 1 hour resistance. So I got out quick on there, and when I came back to the chart, all this hadn't played out. It was somewhere after. It was like 9 o'clock-ish. Let me see. Because I waited all the way through the New York Open to see if we got that retracement to test retracement to test the highs before potentially going back bearish, and we didn't. It just straight flushed. So caught over about 15 to 20 pips right in up here, but overall that thing leaked. Right now, looking for a retracement trade currently, and I have 2 positions open here. I got trailing stops about 10 pips out. So if we come down and start breaking lows, what I'm seeing from here is, or what made me, formulate this trade idea is we got this big ass bearish impulse to the downside, breaking structure, looking left, but we did not break the low, kind of indicating that price action isn't ready to break through this level and continue to the next support level. So what I was looking for was a retracement back to this level where price started out before, or back to this level with the NY high where price action started out before. There's nothing to say that price action can't come down here and grab my liquidity and then push, or grab my stops and then push higher, but currently what I was seeing as we came down and made this new low, that's why this level is identified here. We got the low from that area, creating this low right here. Then we came high, higher low, higher high, pulled back, didn't break the low, grabbed the liquidity from below it. We did create a little bearish trend here. Once I saw this bearish trend here, didn't really break structure of that price action that pushed us to where we came from, then I started to frame the longs to say, okay, potentially, since we didn't break the low, we kind of created a lower time frame higher high right here, new higher low. So I'm expecting price action to push back bullish. But during the Asian session, in the beginning, a lot of fuckery like to happen. So right now, we're currently waiting to see if we do start to break structure. There it is. Potentially want to start closing off positions, because if we were starting to maintain that higher high, higher low format, this already pulled back and then tried to push bullish and has failed to create new highs, and now we're creating new lows. So trading that lower time frame, you definitely have to listen to yourself when price action says, okay, we're not doing what I thought we was going to do, and you best be getting ready to get out of trade. So price action back on the 15-minute chart has come back to support. We'll make these candles a little bit bigger so you can see them. So we got the high, low, higher high, low bearish retracement, didn't break the higher low that pushed you into the highs, and then we started back making higher highs and higher lows. So if we break through this support right here and start closing, coming back to this support, I will close off before hitting the 50% point, just because reading it on the lower time frames, we were shifting back bearish, and then potentially not take another trade or just wait for later within the Asian session to get back in. That's the only thing about getting in early within the Asian session, because the price action will smack you. I mean, we could be ready to potentially break through all this and come down. If we start closing below here, then potentially we might hop in for the shorts. Buys might not take place right now. But overall, like I said, it definitely has been a good trading week. Looking over at Bitcoin. Yeah. Bitcoin, we're looking for price action to retrace, which it actually did. We were looking for it to come back into this imbalance we got outlined right up here, but we came back to that 1 hour resistance, price action manipulated, and then started to short off. What we do notice from the shorting off is we did break structure looking left, but we didn't break the ultimate low that pushed you into the high. So potentially this could be the low, the high, potentially new higher low, and now going to make that new higher high. If we break these lows, then that potential scenario / psychology is over. We have already broken through support previously, where price action held up here. We came back down, but then immediately closed back above. So if we can come down and start breaking through these lows and closing below and staying below those lows, we'll potentially look for shorting opportunities back into demand. I don't trade BTC throughout the week, so potentially will miss that setup. Looking at GJ on the 1 hour chart, like I said, this was the wick that was left from last week. From the weekly open, we came and filled that wick and then started to pull back. So if we don't break the low necessarily from where price action came from, potentially high, higher low, higher high, we just kind of have to see how price action sets up for us here on GJ. Overall, consolidating from the higher time frames. Definitely not interested in taking any setups or any trades on GJ because it's not trending. It's only going side, left to right, going sideways. Over to GU. GU, like I said, we had the 4 hour resistance and the support marked up from the weekend analysis. We were looking for price action to retest this bearish continuation zone at 17,563. And like I said, came back exactly. Did not catch these shorts, and price action leaked from that point on. Good old 130 of them things. So I've been paying attention to GJ or GU this morning. Same time I was looking at AU. Potentially could have caught this setup, but you know, it is what it is. AU is my boot thing right now, so that should get all the special attention. Switching over to NU. Let's see. Price action overall bearish. Was looking for, from the weekend analysis, looking for price action to pull back into the structure most recently broken. What we can see is price action did pull back into that level and it reacted from there, coming back down. When it came back down, did not break the low, so potentially would have been shaky on trying to take some shorts from this area, especially not seeing price action pull away from that zone like you really need to, as far as if it's ready to start back going bearish. We see price action manipulate that level and then come back and immediately break that higher low that sent you into the high. So potentially we could be getting ready. We might pull back up one more time and then melt, but potentially could be ready to resume back within this bearish trend. UJ. So from the weekend analysis, we were looking for price action to push back up into this imbalance we had looking left. Price action pushed above, grabbed some liquidity, and now it looks like it's back on its way back down. So, yeah. I would really like to reanalyze UJ, seeing as how we have pushed back into supply. Now we need to see the reaction. Is there enough supply within the market to reverse this and start to send it back to the downside? Or has demand taken over and we can continue to push bullish, lining up with that USD strength that we've been seeing for the last few weeks? Overall, UJ is big bullish. This is the last higher low on the daily that pushed you into the highs. We have a pullback, considerable amount, probably past the 50% point, and now we started pushing back into supply that pushed us down here. So we gon' see. Pushing over to gold. Coming from the weekend analysis, we see price action was bearish. From the weekly open, we were looking for a retracement back into this 1 hour resistance. What we can see it actually happened is price action came and broke through the 4 hour support, creating a new lower low. So from that point, we should be expecting a new lower high. Potentially, this could be it. You got your high, you got your low, lower high, lower low. I don't think this is far enough pullback, but the market can do whatever it wants. And I don't look at gold every day enough to be able to tell if that's a deep enough retracement from its impulsive pushes. So overall, we missed the breakout sales here, and we missed the breakout sales here. This is not a breaking retest zone. It's a possible sales below, so it's impulse trades coming from that level. So definitely have missed the setups on gold from there, but potentially, since we are breaking through 4 hour structures, then definitely need to go back and reanalyze this chart. These are marked up from the weekend analysis. So we've had 2 to 3 days of chart action since I analyzed anything past AUDUSD. Clicking over to S&P, what we were looking at from the higher time frames, we are big bullish. We are big bullish. Coming from demand, pushing to supply. Now I consider price action to be retracing at the moment. We have just pushed into the structure most recently broken as price action push. Why is that structure most recently broken? Okay, so maybe if we're doing, let's see here. This is the low. That's the high, higher low, higher high, higher low, potentially to the new higher high way up here. So we're identifying this as a structure most recently broken. This whole ordeal right here, price pushed up, came back, pushed and broke above, came back to retest this structure. So potentially this structure most recently broken play could be out. We have come back to this first imbalance level we had identified here. So if price starts to push up, come back and respect the low from right here, we could be getting ready to resume back into that bullish trend. But if not, we do have a level right below. If we break through both of those levels, then price action probably is just going to continue to go back bearish until it finds somewhere within the market that it can withstand the price, sustain the price before pushing back bullish. So overall, still bullish on S&P, NAS. Just definitely waiting to see which area within the market is going to give you that level of support to switch the trend back to higher highs and higher lows to lower lows and lower highs. Pretty much the same deal on NAS. This should be marked up. I don't know why it's not, but okay. Pushing over to GA. Yeah, I don't know how NAS didn't get marked up. I might have got deleted. Looking at GA from probably 2 weeks ago. This is we were looking to see from this 1 hour resistance down to this 1 hour support. We saw the retracement and then price action come back into that level. So from here, we're trying to identify, is this the lower high from the 1 hour chart that's going to break price action through the structure? As we can see right here, this price action broke through. So in order to take trades from this level, we'd have been looking for was a break and retest identified by the outline in the background. If we were going to continue to go bullish, we were looking for structural breaks looking left, identified with these orange circles here. The bearish scenario ended up playing out. We got the break, we have the retest, the double top, potentially stops could have been right above, and then targeting back into this low or even further, potentially looking left to create that ultimate target. But you know, it is or it has played out. So, which kind of doesn't make sense simply because AUD/USD is bearish, indicating USD strength, and then GBP/AUD is bearish as well, indicating AUD strength. So the only thing that really makes sense when you're looking for confluence and comparison of the charts is that AUD is stronger than the Great British Pound, and the USD is stronger than the Australian dollar. So the only correlation kind of can see from right there, right now on that. But clicking back over to AU, yeah, now we're just going to see what it do. It is kind of taking a little bit of time. It is already 8 o'clock. We're going to bump down to the 15 and see how we're progressing. So we have broke this last high that pulled us back. So now we're looking to break this level and see if we can make it all the way up to TP1. From entry to TP1, you're looking at about 24, 25 of them things. If we make it back up to the second level, we're looking at about 60 of them things. Now, I don't know if we're going to catch 60 of them things tonight. When I say tonight, I mean the Asian session. Ain't no telling what the price or what the market is going to do. All I'm looking for is to get above this high if we can. We're looking at, 10 pip profit. We're looking at potentially trail the stops to this 50% level. Bring the stops from down here to up here. Simply because we haven't really broken away from entry at this point, a good bit amount to say bring stops to break even. But how I've been trading here lately, that, has been working. At 10 pips, trail the stops, take out some profits and let the run. You don't lose no money, you collect some profit, and, you don't lose no money. So, excuse my chill. We gonna see. I know my man Mac Daddy is on live now. But yeah, overall, we sit back and wait. Now, my charts is kind of getting a little messy. There is a ton of stuff set up on here. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of start cleaning it up just a little bit to make it a little bit more cleaner. And just go from there. This 1 hour resistance is no longer important. So what we're gonna do is delete that. And today is Tuesday, so tomorrow, Wednesday, I usually would try to go live tomorrow, but I got fantasy draft tomorrow night, so probably we're gonna miss the markets and miss the live stream. What I want to do on AU is kind of delete all this and start from top to bottom, go fresh. Just wanted to kind of identify and outline the trade setup right now, and then see what we're gonna do from there, based off of structure and how price action has been playing out for me lately. Let's go out to the hourly. A little less stuff on the chart. We're gonna blank everything. So what we have right here is based off of the weekly analysis or the weekly chart, weekend analysis. We got the high, swing high right up here. We got the lower high area that pushed you into the low. So you're looking at high, low, lower, low. And at this point, with price action creating a lower low here, we're seeing supply is in control of the market. We got price action pull all the way back, breaking that level, kind of indicating that it wanted to go bearish, but ultimately, it wanted to go bullish, but ultimately, we found a resistance right up in here, and started coming back down. So this right here, let's see, high, low, low, high. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. So not looking at this low, but this is the high to the low, because this price action broke structure looking over here. This is the high, this is the low. This is potentially the new lower high that's going to give you the low that breaks this area from the higher time frames. So when we come back and we see price action create the high, the low, we pull back. This price section here now creates your new supply zone. And this creates your new supply zone simply because all this price action here is bullish. You're making higher highs and higher lows all the way back in over here. Price action pushed all the way into this area right here. It then started breaking structure. You got your first structural break right here, your second structural break right down here, and then your so on and so forth. But so your new active supply is sitting right up in here. So you're looking for a price action to push down, breaking structure looking left. What we can see is when we zoom in, let's just do that. From this supply, price action came down and created a low, breaking structure looking left. And right here, we have price action pulling back, giving us our retracement of this whole impulsive move right here. Now, where it gets a little tricky is this enough of a pullback to say price action is ready to now break lows looking left to create the new lower low on the higher time frame? And as we can see, price action pulled back to about 50% of this whole impulsive move, and then started to break structure looking left. So to me, this is ultimately the new supply that's in charge of the market right now. And then at this point, if we break this level, then we know we have this untested supply way backing up in here. If price action continues to break structure looking left, then this is our new important supply as far as higher lows, lower highs, and then where price action could potentially retest before continue to go bearish. So as we come into tonight's price action, the new supply has been retested. We started breaking structure looking left, but we did not still, when you bring the analysis back, break those lows, or this low. We did break that one, but we did not break lows looking left. So that's why I'm ultimately looking for the retracement to say price action could come back in up in here and then create that consolidation pattern before continuing to go down to demand on the higher time frame. So just kind of wanted to explain that a little bit, because I'm actually going to draw it up and diagram that right now. So yeah. Miss Kimmy, what's going on with you? How you trading going this week? All right, what you looking for him to do? What you looking for in AU? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I see. Right. The only thing with this double bottom is we are currently in the Asian session. The Asian session potentially here recently. It didn't always used to do this in the beginning of the year, is what I mean. Has been grabbing liquidity from below these lows, because if you were bullish from here, your stop is below here. You know, if you're bullish from here, like I am, my stop is below these candles. So we potentially could see, you know, the liquidity grab to the downside before pushing up and then melting back down. But yeah, I'm in those buys too. I got 2 positions open right now, right there. Gold. Let me see. I don't know. Gold seemed a little bit more of a bearish scenario. Potentially that double bottom could line out. Let's see, from the 4-hour. What was we doing on the higher time frames? Higher time frames, we are bearish. High, low, lower high, lower low. Potentially new lower high to come down to break this low, but we ain't close to that area just yet. We got the possible sales. So the breakout sales did play out, but overall, we still creating lower lows and lower highs. This was the high point, low, lower high, potentially new lower low, potential new lower high. We haven't broke structure yet, so this lower high right here is not really valid just yet. So you're still playing between this high and this low. That's the range you're within right now. So if you can see an impulsive move back into the top side and then break this high, then you have a higher chance of that bullish scenario playing out. Like I said, you got the high, low, lower high. We broke through support right over here, lower low. So if this breaks through here, this is your new lower high, creating that low. So you definitely need this level to hold up for the buys. But the easiest thing to do is wait for the 15-minute to definitely start making higher highs and higher lows. So potentially closing above, down on 15-minute, lower high, lower low. Yeah, so definitely want to see price action get above like about 1726 level for stronger confirmations that we're going to push higher. And then you said NAS. I don't know. For some reason, my NAS chart ain't really drawn up, so I don't have a clue. If I kind of just compared it to S&P, potentially could be buying from where it is right now. But that's only comparing it, you know, to S&P. Not 100% sure. High, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. So potentially, yeah, this could hold up to about 50% of this move of this range from this high to this low. So about somewhere right up in there, that 12,440 area, or to this area right here where we just broke through. So I would look for it to break above 12,397, 12,400 first, and then see if it makes it past the 50% mark at 12,450. To see if we can come back and retest this high. And then if we get above here, then definitely, higher highs and higher lows. This would be the next target area, around about 13,100. But yeah, I'm trying to hope AU do take off. I need to get some get back from last night. All right, cool. So bumping out to the weekly. When we zoom out, what we can see is there's a lot of price action. We don't really need all this, but what we can see is price action is bearish. Lower lows and lower highs. Last lower high, lower low, potentially new lower high. And I say potentially because we haven't broke any structure just yet. So we haven't made it all the way back down to break this low to confirm this lower high. But what we overall looking for on a weekly is the trend. Price action is currently bearish in the current price action trend, or the current price action scheme of things. So based off of this, we are bearish. This is the last lower high. They gave you a low, broke structure looking left. So for me, I would, we just broke that low. This right here on the weekly said we're gonna keep going bearish. We broke the previous kind of low. But from right here, what I would do is identify this area. See, here we go lagging again. Come on. So that would be the high, and then this will be the low, and then we We go down to the daily time frame and adjust. And I'm marking daily zones on the weekly chart because when you go down to the daily chart, it's a little bit, it's more messy. There's more candles involved. I can see the level more clear from the weekly. So that's why I initially mark it there, and then I come and tighten it up on the daily. So this is the supply area within the market that pushed us into the lows right down here. And I outline this way so that when I get to my lower time frames, I can kind of just zoom out and see where price action is headed based off of, you know, the indications I'm putting on the charts now. So reading it from the daily, we got the high, we got the low, lower high that broke through structure looking left, lower low. So potentially this could be our new lower high. So what we see is price action is bearish, bearish, bearish. Came right here, started going bullish, bullish, bullish. Came right here, started going bearish, bearish, bearish. So on the 4 hour time frame, this is going to be our key resistance, which would be 4 hour resistance, 4 hour time frame. And then from this point down to here was the high to the low. We pulled back with this price action over here. We did break that low, but not by much. So theoretically, the new 4 hour resistance is from up here to down here. And then the 4 hour support will be right below there. So the way I'm gonna draw it is like this. And then I'll put the new zones in there. This was the old zones to kind of indicate how price action broke through that level and created a new low. So the old 4 hour support, and you come down, you kind of can see how you have the high, the low, you got the range, you have the pullback, then you have the breaker structure. So theoretically, your new 4 hour resistance, or the one that means the most to you, should be there. And you got the 4 hour support right down here. Let me make it a little bit bigger. So this one's over here because it's already broken. And this is the new right over here. So we know from the daily, we big bearish. We have already created a retracement more than 50%. And from this point, we started melting back to the downside. We got the new 4 hour resistance, the new 4 hour support. From there, we have already retested more than 50% back into previous supply and then started coming back down. So from the 4 hour chart to the 1 hour, what we can see is when price action came back down, we did not break the lows looking left. So there's potential for price action to retrace before continuing to the downside. When we look at the 1 hour time frame, we see big bearish right here, breaking structure looking left. We have already created the retracement, higher highs and higher lows. So on the 1 hour time frame, we got a support or resistance level here and a support level right down there. You don't really necessarily have to identify those areas, but I like to. So the resistance is there, meaning that if price action pulls all the way back up to this resistance and closes above, there's a high probability percentage that we coming all the way back into where price action came from. So that's why I have that outline there. That's why it means something to me. And then as we get down to the 15-minute chart, we have levels where price action is within this bearish trend. So we have a high with the low, breaking structure looking left. We got a lower high, lower low. So for me, on the 15-minute chart, if I think price action is going to go bullish, what I would normally want to do is wait for price action to hit this zone and then start creating higher highs and higher lows, or lower lows and lower highs, indicating bearishness or bullishness from that point. Clicking back over to the hourly, go ahead and identify the sessions. So we got the Asian open here, and then we got the London session coming up. So identify him. And then this morning's New York session. And then yesterday's London. Starting to get a little push, 613. Okay, looking good, looking good. London open, and then last but not least, the weekly open. Right in open her. Come on. All right, so now we get to live price action. Like I said, this 15-minute level is the first level. Looking for price action to hit. And then if we continue those higher highs and higher lows up into this level, at that point, if you took a trade from down here, you could potentially move your stops to break even, taking profits here, expecting it to come higher. But if it doesn't, then at the same time, you already know, hey, I was scalping in between this range, trying to catch some retracement buys. The idea ultimately here should be strictly scalping type situations, simply because we know overall the higher time frames are bearish. So trying to hold bullish trades during a bearish trend is completely risky. So yeah, let's fix this. So once I have all this stuff identified and situated on the chart and ready to go, I like to go and see where, if we break through the low side, where could potential targets be down this way. If we continue to the high side, then ultimately we're looking for one of these levels to be hit during the agent session. That's pretty much it. From top to bottom, left to right, we're looking to see what price action is going to do. Alright, so last little bit of, let's mark the highs and the lows. So we target this area here for the London low. Oops. London high. We say this right over here is the NY high. Got an NY low. And right now we currently waiting to see what the Asian gonna do. Seeing this how it's already 8:30. I don't really like this level as the Asian low, but we can identify it as the Asian low for right now. This price action right here does not make me think we want to shoot bullish right now. So this is the point where I start to get antsy in the trades, because I don't see the volume, I don't see the momentum pushing in the direction where I want the trade to go. Yeah. So then price action like this is what makes it hard to hold your winning trades, especially if you got in early and was sitting through drawdown and finally back in profit like I was here tonight. So now, seeing as how we have this area right here identified as the Asian low, if price action breaks this point here, then buys are probably definitely out until we see if we're only going to grab liquidity from below here, or if we're just going to continue to go bearish. Bearish. Let me see, what was we targeting? To the downside. Okay. We got the head and shoulders already played out, pushed down, grabbed the, yep. So potentially, what we're looking for is somewhere up in here. I would like to take it from right over here. So this will be the first area, if price action was to break to the downside, that I would be looking to target. Let's just do that. So we came to the downside. We're looking at something like right up and over here as far as first target 6,800 even level. And below here, we're looking at a 32 pip range. 30 to 35, depending on how you catch it. Right now, AU playing games. It is looking like it want to push bullish. It's probably easier to watch it from the hourly, but no, this is real shaky at the moment. I'm up like 2 pips, 1 pip. So we gonna see. Yeah. Long position from 580. We got stops at 68.4. Somewhere up north. And we're gonna see if we're gonna hit like that with a TB1. TB1 may bring. Break even. Yes, Lord. If we make it up that far. Oh, man. So, theoretically, if I wanted to take buys on AUDUSD, I should have been somewhat waiting until we got somewhere up here and continue to make higher highs and higher lows, targeting this kind of area right up in here. Ultimately, final targets rest here or back all the way to the 4-hour resistance. But since seeing what I saw today, not breaking the lows, coming down, respecting the lows, you can see we catch a little counter trend retracement trade. Let me see. I don't think one thing else I was. Yes, Lord. Let me see where we at. Did the zone cut out? No, it's still going. Oh, she must have peeled out. Let me see. Oh, no, she's still here. Where the hell my camera at? There we go. All right, let me see on UJ where we at as far as entries. Hold on 1 second. All right, so UJ, I got entries from. Not a whole life sure how these gonna hold up because price action is big bullish. 138,600. So something like right up in there. Stops is at 39.1. Profit is 37. 37,480 on the first position. So that's how we rocking on this. Oh, that's the second position. The first position is a lot horrible. Short from 38,155. So as soon as this first position, which is this one right over here, as soon as it come close to pushing back in price, we're probably gonna close that out and then just rock with this position. But that's only if that takes place. If it don't, then it is what it is. Almost got stopped out right there. Kind of shaky. So a little less than the 1-1. I can't see nothing that bright ass yellow. Styles, let's change the curler. Let's do a gray, see if that show up, yeah. $136 TP. Yeah. So that's kind of the second thing. That was the first trade idea I was looking for to come all the way back down. The second one. Yeah. So first, only the second trade idea is retesting this. I saw this thought process after I'd entered the first trade. The first or the second trade idea is only retesting this 4-hour resistance that we just broke through, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then the first trade idea was to come all the way back down, kind of coming to where price kind of just stalled out before. Something like this. So kind of where the target idea came from with the first entry, and then the second entry was a retest of this structural high. So we'll overall see how UJ holds up, but it is real close to them stops. Really, really shaky. We did come to this imbalance and fill, grab liquidity, looking left, and pushed all the way ultimately back into supply where price action came from on that daily time frame. So if we can get some good price action, I think price action might actually manipulate one more time to the top side before going bearish. But if it does, then it is what it is at this point, because we already in, can't take it back. Let's see what gold doing. Okay, gold stalling just like AU. Oh, one thing I did forget to look and see those any no, ain't nothing dropping in the nighttime. So mostly everything as far as impactful news is happening during the daylight hours. So not too much of a scare there. Coming up majorly tomorrow morning, ADP. If you looking to trade NAS in the morning, be real careful. This ADP probably gonna send the market stupid. Yeah. And then on Thursday we got CPI for the CHF. CAD, Euro got some news. And then on what is this? Yeah. Thursday early morning, and then Thursday close to the afternoon, early morning kind of still. USD got some PMI coming off, and then NFP, unemployment rate on Friday. So yeah. Coming up starting tomorrow, the market gonna start going nuts Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So be real careful with your entries, careful with your take profits, stop loss. When I see news lined up like that back to back, I'm real stingy with the pips. How price action has been playing out lately, I've been stingy with the pips as far as definitely collecting some profits once we hit 10 pips. Simply because, you know, a lot of times coming to the Asian session here lately, it's all been counter trend setups that I want to take and get into and try to capture some type of profit within the market before getting off for the charts. And I think I'm gonna close one of my positions right here, simply because we got 3 candles failing to break highs and continue. So I'm gonna chop one of these right now and let the second one run. And if it hit, it hit. If it don't, then it is what it is. We already managed some of that risk, took some of that risk off the table. So usually when I do shit like that, that's when the market takes off and go exactly where I was wanting it to go. And I'm like, eh. But overall, I really want the shorts. The shorts is the preferable trade for AU right now, because like I said, market big bearish. But coming into the Asian session right now, we potentially have scalp buy set up. I need some snacks in this mother. Oh man, my knees hurting. So we're gonna highlight UJ. GU, missed the setup on GU. This would have been a perfect entry. That break and retest trade, bearish continuation zone. Yeah. Ultimately, definitely just waiting on a retracement type deal set up on GU. High, low, lower, high, lower, low. So potentially waiting on a new next lower high. Based off this little 1 hour chart, I would look for something like this. Okay, Brody. Right back up into this little area right here and stall out. Do a little consolidation dance, you know, ring around the rosy, and then see if it can leak again. Don't really have too many confluences on that, except for price action is bearish. We got the high with the low, breaking structure looking left, pull back, lower high, lower low. So we ultimately, well, we already broke that low. So yeah, so we right here within this range from 17,550 to 16,260. So anywhere we can catch a lower high in that area, potentially could take a short. If we do get price action to pull back up like this, but doesn't, but it failed if it does come back down and fails to break these lows, then potentially we could be retracing deeper. So definitely be aware of that. Let me see, delete. So that move would look something like, we already bearish. We're looking for a continuation to the downside. But if we get this, price action comes into our area of interest, starts to leak and does not break this low, stalls out somewhere right there. This also could happen where price action comes back into this level before doing this little consolidation ring around the rosy dance and then melting back to the downside. So that's always a possibility. So definitely have to keep those in mind. How the market has been playing lately, like I said, these are the type of trades I've been getting into, selling from here and then only coming back, halfway down or not meeting full targets and then pushing up and then smashing targets. So that's why I've been stingy with the pips. Price action don't want to dip. I'm going to get out. Okay, still somewhat pushing bullish on AU. I don't think there's anything else worth looking at that's going to give some gas. Ain't nothing really setting up in line with the trend right now. Come on, push on up. So, let me see. Didn't break the lows. The London session tonight will be real interesting to see if price action breaks through this high or if we only pull back to continue to go lower. So definitely, I might try and catch some of that. What I can see is this little head and shoulders pattern. We got a double top pattern right over here. Double top and drop. I can see those sideways head and shoulders too. Let me see where we at. All right, so this is the left shoulder, come up, come down, potential right shoulder, or the head, come back down to, well, that ain't gonna work. I have to redraw that. Delete. One more time. If we, that didn't make it all the way back down, but for shits and giggles, we're gonna draw it like this. And then see how it lines up to see if that right shoulder comes back up in here and stalls out. Then potentially that could be our play back to the downside to make it back to the support at 68 even. I know the neck line or the shoulders are a little bit off. This one got a little scoliosis, but it still can work out. So during the London session, if we stall out right back up and over here with his right shoulder could produce 69,200. We at 68. That ain't far off. Ooh, 20, 40 pips away. So that definitely can happen. 40 pips can definitely easy pump up in the market between now and the London session, and then potentially look for shorts around this 69,200 level. If it don't set up around that 69,200, we would not take a blind short. We'll definitely wait for price action to get busy right up in that area. Maybe a double top, triple top, consolidation. And with a consolidation with a breakout to the downside, something like that. I wouldn't just put a sell limit right there, because when you're looking at the price action, there's not a level per se on the 1 hour chart, and anything pretty much below that is not guaranteeable. These red 15-minute zones are not guaranteeable. That price action is going to hold up there. It's just another little confluence like to build up. We're looking at the lower time frames. Yeah, see, this ain't just pushing bullish like I needed to, because we know we got a resistance right here. In order to get back to this one, We gotta break this one first, my friend. So, yeah. Definitely a bunch of waiting. So, one thing I don't like about trading off the computer, if you don't have magic keys, at least that I haven't found out, you can't bust down your trade. So, like if you put in a one lot with this terminal right over here, you can't break that one lot in half to a 50% closed position or 75% closed position. You pretty much got to close the whole thing. Yeah, so that's why I like entering off the terminal on my phone a lot better, because I can break down positions on the phone. Right now, we're going to see. Come on, AU, show us something. So we can get this win rate up on the live sessions. Like my win rate is like 2-10 on the live sessions. So I don't know. We gonna see. See nothing happening on Twitter. Nobody talking about nothing. We got a little doubt booming in the background. Let's see what Mac Daddy got going on. Oh, ain't got no volume. No, go back. No, go back. Where the hell we got no volume? Yeah, let's see what Mac Daddy looking at. Oh, that's because we're muted. Okay, there we go. Yo, yo. I'm gonna see how he feeling about gold, because he trades gold too. Let's see what he got going. We got a minute left. Okay, AU is looking like it's trying to do something, and we know that 9 o'clock candle does like to pull back. It is the start of a new 4-hour candle. So one of the ways I kind of check to see if I'm in line with what's going on, now look at the previous 4-hour candle. So right now, if this candle closed like it is, it closed in 8 minutes, we big bullish. So I would kind of, I guess use it as a confluence for the next 4-hour candle, potentially to go bullish as well. When you try to do that comparison back and over here, you got a big bearish, following candle, big bearish. The next candle is bearish. This candle closed bullish, following 4-hour candle closed bullish, and so on and so forth. So if this support holds up at support, this closing bullish, I'm expecting. Oh yeah. Yeah, he said he ain't looking for the buys on gold. He's not looking for the. Not looking for the buys.
I didn't hear what you said. Did you say he is or is not looking for buys?
No, he was not looking for the buys on gold. He says mostly been moving. It's been moving the best during the New York session, so he's just kind of pulling out for tonight. Um,
Okay.
he mostly looking at GJ right now. I think he got some GJ shorts going. Or you waiting for GJ shorts? I don't know. GJ's price action been so whack lately. I don't want to do nothing with this. I did see this move right here coming, but with that wick fill, but I didn't get in. This is too choppy for me to be trying to hop in and take advantage of. Too much stress right here. This right here make you want to pull your hair out because we only just, back and forth within that same range. Yeah. If gold breaks, it already broke this first 4-hour candle low, which is not a really good sign for it to go bullish. If we break this low at 1721, yeah, I probably wouldn't be looking for longs anymore either. So at that point, you would have, higher low, lower low, lower highs, lower high, lower low, potential lower high, and then break the low right over here for the lower low. But there's still potential until it closes below that 1721. At that point, I would no longer be looking for the buys. And you look like he's gonna do something special. I got TP at L on this trade for AU at 68,750. It could go higher, but I think I'm gonna peel out around that area. Simply because when you're big bearish here, we push back bullish. We pushed as far as 68,880, you can say, but we closed all the way back down at 68,760. So there's resistance right up in this zone. So as we come back into that level, price action could reject again and resume bearish. So at that point, that's why I want to get out. If we close above, it's just close above, and then potentially catch that entry we're looking for the London session, 69,200. So if it work, it work. If it don't, then definitely looking to take some profits off, or probably close the whole thing because with that terminal I can't take profits off. Do you watch any traders on YouTube?
Do I watch any
Yeah.
of the traders?
Yeah.
There are two. So I watch the trading channel.
Yep. I watch them.
I don't know that.
Oh wait, I think
Name.
that's the name of it.
And Rocks FX.
Yeah, I watch him too.
Yeah, those are like the main two that I watch. And I think there's a guy called Doyle Exchange.
Yeah.
He posts a video and I watch him.
Yeah, I watch Doyle too.
That's pretty much it.
But you see this list right over here with subscriptions. Outside of the little kid stuff, these are all the other traders that I look at. I go to Roger session just to listen to in the morning on the way to work. I do like his trading style, but I don't trade the way he does them because he trades mostly off of session opens and momentum and volume, mostly around the London session and the New York session, which are times that I can't trade. So I mostly just listen to him while I'm riding in the car. Trading Nut, he does a lot of featured traders, other traders that show all the different ways that they get active in the market. So if, I done came to the charts and I got everything lined up how I'm looking for, that'll be one thing that I do. Click on his channel and see who he had come through and show they trading style. Live Traders TV right over here. These boys trade the stocks. I just listen to them on the way to work sometimes too when Raj ain't going live. Mostly just to see, how stocks are being traded, try to see their mindset and mind frame as far as getting in and out of trades. And then I got my channel right over here. And then Mac was the guy we was just watching. This guy, the Trading Fanatic, he's really good. This is him right over here. I watch his weekly outlooks and setups every week. He trades pretty similar to the way I do, support and resistance, supply and demand. So I watch him to see, I only really trade AU, but he mostly trades EU, Euro, USD. But I like to see how he sees the market trending. We even got kind of similar colors on our candle work there. Ariel FX is somebody new that I just started watching. He teaches smart money concepts. I don't trade based off of smart money concepts, but I've gotten to the point where I think now within the market, I'm looking to learn more stuff. Not that I'm looking to change up my strategy, but you know, if there's other people out there within the market that have found different ways to get active and make money, I don't see a problem with going to check out, you know, the way that they doing things, because there's always potentially a lesson to be learned. My man Ty right over here, when you're looking for some straight gas, like some active entertainment, you know, to go along with the charts, he's real good for that. He doesn't really go real deep within his analysis. He marks up from like the daily time frame to the 4 hour, and he pretty much leaves it at that. Obviously, you might know the Swag Academy, Swaggy C. His name is Chris. I can't remember what his nickname is. Swaggy something. You said Solo E. What was the other dude you said you watch? Roxanne. What was the other one?
The Trading Channel.
The Trading Channel. I thought you said Solo E for some reason. Solo E is a new person I've been watching. Him right over here.
I tried watching him, but he doesn't. To me, he doesn't explain things clearly for beginners.
I think it's more or less the trading style that he does. He does a lot of Wyckoff method. I don't know. Let me see. No, I don't think I know Wyckoff method. But yeah, he does a lot of Wyckoff and Fibonacci plays. So he's more or less combining a few different strategies to make up his own one. Alex does a lot of podcasts. Daniel Savage, I don't know if you've heard of him. Day Trading Addict, I don't watch him that much. Rox FX, when he used to go live a lot, I used to watch him all the time. I used to watch his weekend analysis all the time because he traded somewhat similar to the way I did as far as the support and resistance. Karen Fu, don't watch her much. UK Spread Betting, they got a lot of good information on their channel. That when I kind of got lost within the market, I found out some interesting things to kind of help me identify my 4 hour structures, my 1 hour structures from watching these guys. Jeremy Cash, just another kind of young guy that trades pretty live on his chart. Lembu Raul, haven't watched too much of his stuff yet. Trading Channel was the one that I kind of started with way back in 2019. He was one of the original ones along with Rox FX back in 2019 that I started watching first. Trading Channel is kind of like he's more of a swinger. He doesn't really do the scalps, the short trades. Bank Robber is pretty good. He trades gold a lot. If you're looking for some gold confluence of how to trade gold, you can watch this guy right here. He trades mostly nothing but gold. Bank Robber FX. Let me see who else. Forex Soldiers. I don't even know who that is. The Live Trading Channel. Yeah, the Live Trading Lounge. I ain't seen them in a while. Luke Trades London. Well, yeah, so then Mama FX. I ain't seen him on here in a while either. But let me see who outlines NAS. Ty, this one right here, he do the indices a lot in gold. Roger, this guy right here does gold a lot. And I don't know anybody else who pretty much does gold and the indices. But yeah, so if you're looking for other people, Roger, he goes live in the New York sessions like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Ty, he goes live like on Sundays. He talks about NAS a lot. Roger talks about gold a lot. And then that's pretty much it that I watch as far as who trades gold and NAS. AU then came back down. Oh, it's 9 o'clock, so we potentially expecting that retracement. And if this retracement right here with the 9 o'clock open breaks this agent low, I probably will close out that other position. So because at that point we'll be breaking structure. Based off of this 15, we got the low. Potentially this could be our high. So we're gonna mark that for now and see how it holds up. One of the things I kind of outlined earlier, we have not still broken this high, and we pushed into that resistance and got a bearish close off of it. So, yeah, we gonna see. The 1 minute. Potentially like right up in here. I don't want to see the market close below here. It can if it won't, but I ain't gonna be too happy if it does. And bump back up to the 15. See how that lines up. So yeah. Come on. So we're gonna see how that work out. But I think that's probably about all I got for this one tonight. Looking to hold on to these loans back into this level. About 68,850, 68,860. Potentially take all profits off the table right there, and then wait to see if this London session comes and opens up right around here, or trade setup sets up around here in the London session. Like I said, I want to close here because I don't want to sit through no more pullback. You know, we done sat through all this. We done pulled all the way up here. If it makes it there, I'm okay with, you know, just capturing them 24, 25 pips and getting on through. Simply because, like I said earlier, we know the market is overall bearish. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and end it up right on up in there. And then I will be on the charts till about 11. So if you got any questions or see anything else, you can definitely just hit the chat and let me know. Otherwise, I'll probably catch you like Thursday, probably Thursday night. I got NFL draft tomorrow night, so I know I won't be on tomorrow. But yeah. All right, my lady, I appreciate you joining on. All right, yeah, I'll catch up with you. All right, YouTube, for all y'all, if you watching this video and you still on, you just kind of heard the explanation of what I'm looking for. If you come down breaking this Asian low, then your boy is out of that thing. Probably won't hold too much longer than that, simply because you're breaking structure at that point. And then, yeah, I'm just going to wait. So, as we can see, that 9 o'clock candle has not disappointed. It likes to pull back. But outside of that, your boy gonna get up out of that thing. It's starting to get hot in this motherfucker anyway, so I'm out. Peace.